my name is Peter Parfitt and welcome to this, the first of my videos about one of the unsung heroes of my workshop, Bessey clamps. Now I've had Bessey clamps since about the year 2000 and I remember seeing Norm Abram on TV and he had stacks of them and I was always amazed at just how easy they were to use. So I went and bought some, and over the years I bought more, and I've just recently updated my collection. So I thought I'd tell you about it. Now this is the K Body Revo, and it's taken over from the original K Body, and this is mine which I bought in the year 2000. And this was reckoned to be the best clamp in the world for woodworkers in that time, but now the best has just got even better. Now these are the characteristics that make this clamp stand out from the competition. These faces remain parallel when you're clamping up, and that means if you're trying to do something like this and you're trying to keep the box or whatever it is square, then it's a lot easier to do with a clamp like this. Now clamps come in 8 different sizes, from 300 millimeters, which is this one, all the way up to 2.5 meters. So no matter what you make, whether it's boxes, beds, tables, desks, you're going to find a clamp of the right size to suit you. They all have jaw depths here of 95 millimeters. They all have removable faces on the jaws. And the beauty of that is that these can either be replaced if they get damaged, but at the end of the day you can take them off, put them in a bucket and give them a jolly good wash if you've had glue on them during the day. They fit in with a dovetail mechanism, and that means that they'll not move around when you're tightening things up. Now there's some other features that make this clamp quite unique. Now the K Body Revo can exert a clamping pressure of up to 7,000 newtons, and that's the gravitational equivalent of a weight of about 700 kilograms sitting on your toe. That pressure is applied by tightening the handle here. It's a soft grip handle with a slightly larger diameter than the old K Body clamp that I've been used to. Now if you look carefully at the rail, it's serrated, but it's not just serrated on one surface, it's serrated on a total of 6 surfaces. There's this one and the equivalent on the other side, and then there's a bevel edge here and on the other side here, and 2 at the bottom. And they're all serrated, which means the grip on the rail is going to be extremely good. Now let's go through the clamping options. I'm going to start with full face clamping, and that's where you utilise the clamp in what might be considered the normal way. And here you have the 95 millimeters depth of throat in use. But it may be that you want more than 95 millimeters. If you turn it round like so, you now have 145 millimeters across the clamp like so. But it may be that because of whatever it is you're clamping, or the area where you're trying to apply the clamp, that the only way you can get the clamp across is like so. And this gives you a 25 millimeter depth to the bar in this case. Now you've probably noticed already these plastic pieces at the end, and these are supports which I'm going to describe a little later. What I want you to look at now is this plastic end stop, and that stops the carriage with the screw tightener from coming off the end of the rail. But I can remove this, and it's easy to do. Just pull back the plastic like so, and this can now come off, and it allows you to reverse it like so, and that then allows you to use it as a spreader rather than a clamp in a traditional way. Let's see that in action. Now I have here an old drawer front, and this has been dovetailed and it's now no longer required, but I want to rescue the various bits and pieces of wood. But I don't want to do it in too destructive a manner. So I've got this 600 millimeter clamp, and I'm going to set it up to open this out reasonably gently. So here we go. That's it. just applying a little bit more force as I go, and eventually you can hear this point starting to go. And there's the first one. It's broken away fairly nicely, and it's done the minimum of damage to these two bits of wood, and that's perfect. And now you can see the advantage of using the narrow edge in this situation. And I've got another clamp at the back here to react, and away I go. And that's the final joint broken. Next. Well, there you go. You can see now just how versatile this clamp is, and Bessey have been very clever. Not only have they got the soft faces, which are removable here and here, but they've also got it at the end. So you can clean these up, take them off, replace them, do whatever you want. So they thought it through very carefully. But the cleverness doesn't stop there. Now this is the leg frame, which is part of my bandsaw table extension, which I made quite a while ago. It's got splayed legs, cross pieces here, and these are jointed using domino tenons. And my problem was that when it came to gluing it up, because the legs are splayed, clamping was quite tricky. But Bessey has a solution. If you take any of the Revo clamps and remove the protective faceplate, you can then fit a pair of these tilting K Body adapters. And they fit on using the same dovetail shape that is on the ends of the faces of the clamp. And they push on as simple as that. And they have a plus or minus 15-degree angle on them. And so what you do is put them in place and then tighten up, and away you go. Now I think that's a very clever gadget, and it's only about 12 or 13 pounds in the United Kingdom. Very clever. Now I said earlier that I'd come back and mention these supports again. Well, they're very simple. They just clip onto the bar of the clamp like so. And once they're there, they might be useful if you want to support a piece of wood, so that it's not actually touching the bar of the clamp. But they have another function. I'm just going to take the one out of the way because I only need that one for this demonstration. You can get these table clamps, which are only about £6 each, made by Bessey, and they've got a round bar here, and that will fit through the hole which is at the bottom of the clamp support. And I'm just going to use it to fix the clamp to this piece of wood. And at this end I'm just using the end stop, which has also got a hole in for my little table clamp to go through. So there we go. I've now effectively created a large vise, and you might want to do a bit of routing or some other operation. If you're on a job site and you haven't got a proper bench, but you've got the ability to fix a piece of wood, then you've got the ability to make yourself an impromptu vise. And whatever you want to use it for, it's very, very simple to do. Well, you know, you can do whatever you like. You can use a pair of these clamps together on either two bits of wood, as I've done, or on one piece of wood, and make yourself an even larger clamping arrangement. Now, I only got myself two of these table clamps. I must get some more. And at the back here I've used a couple of ordinary clamps to hold this one in place, which is perfectly good in this situation. Now I make these woodworking videos in order to encourage people to take up woodwork, to show people how easy it is to make certain things and how useful certain techniques can be for saving time. I also make them so that I can show both professionals and amateurs the very best tools that are on the market today. Now, I bought my first Bessey clamps 13 years ago, and I'm very grateful to Norm Abram for introducing me to them. Now, these clamps are genuinely the very best clamps that you can buy today. I've tried everything. I've tried sash clamps, I've tried G clamps, I've tried wooden pole clamps, I've tried pipe clamps, I've tried everything. But there's nothing that compares to the quality of a K Body clamp from Bessey. The K Body Revos that I've shown you in this video are absolutely stunning. They're so versatile. Parallel clamping at its very best. Well, almost parallel clamping at its very best. And I think you'll find that they're very versatile. They're worth the money. They are not the cheapest, but you pay for what you get. And I really recommend them to you. I love them. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.